Hello and welcome to another indie game update video. Today we have quite a few things to go over, so let's just get started. Fuck the intro. We're just doing this right now. That's how I'm very hyper today. Very hyper. I need to go back to the gym, but I cannot because my card is very old. So the first thing we're going over today, I decided I really wanted to figure out what the backgrounds will look like. What is the scenery? What is the feel? What is the general vibe? What will the player be walking through? Well, so the first thing I decided to draw, apparently, was this Cthulhu RPG looking piece of shit. It looks awesome, I love it, looks great, but doesn't really fit the feel of the game that I'm particularly going with. And I am very hyper, by the way. So it was really cool, but I just needed something else. So, instead, and then I came up with this, way better. It fit a much more gloomy atmosphere, I think, and I fell in love with it immediately. And made about 2 different versions of the same thing. Now, of course, drawings in and of themselves don't really paint the biggest picture, so then the next step was obviously to make a 3D model of it, stick it in Unity, and see what happens. Overall, I really like it. There are a few extra things I'm going to want to do with it overall, but as a general look, I actually rather like the way this is looking. Dark, moody, a broken world falling apart is a very interesting concept, and fits in way better than this Cthulhu mythos thing. Back to the Unity stuff though was a little bit more of a hassle. Since I'm spending more and more time not using tutorials, that means I have to do everything on my own and figure it out, which is fantastic. I absolutely love it, but unfortunately that also means that there's a high probability that I will get stuck on a problem for hours and not figure it out until late in the day, but it's all worth it in the end. So the biggest update on that would have to be the dialogue system. It does its normal thing, yes, dialogue comes up, blah blah blah, but the biggest entry is a portrait comes up. This will enable me to make things a bit more expressive, at least as long as the dialogue goes. Yes, eventually there will be some animations on screen, but I wanted a little bit more expression when it comes to the dialogue system in general, make it a little bit more interesting. And I like the result. I will 100% admit that at the moment, the way things start, the first picture is right here at the top. Yeah, it makes sense. You would think that it would then follow down, but no, instead, it jumps all the way to the bottom and then meets right back up the first picture. This is due to a mistake in my coding. I will not fix it for a long time. It took me way too long to figure out how to get this damn thing to work. I know it's going to be an easy fix, but I would rather work on something else for a while. And really, I'm the only one using it. I do not care. But eventually I probably will have to fix it anyway, because the longer the dialogue goes, the more insane it's going to be to keep track of all of it. So, we'll see what happens. I love coffee. And of course, on another note, I've been improving the overall main story quest thing. Again, mainly just making sure that all the events that happen in order are precise and all the information is passing in between scenes perfectly. On that note, I decided I would try to go on for a little bit of a different method, using scriptable objects instead of saving every single little thing that will change in the game on the Game Master script. This particular script is, you cannot destroy it, it follows the player throughout every scene. So I mean, it works, but I wanted to try something hopefully better. So I tried the scriptable object thing. Unfortunately, I could not get it to work. Granted, this is due to I don't understand it very well, I guess, but regardless, it caused a whole lot of stress and refused to work except whenever it was specifically monitored every single time. Other than that, it refused to work. So I pretty much said, fuck it, I don't want to deal with it. So I just went back to the old method, which works, and I streamlined it a bit more. The only difference is now I have to keep track of everything at the beginning of a scene in a specific area and keep track of everything on that one script. For any additional little side missions, they'll have their own scripts in the future. They don't have this giant mess of if statements to keep track of everything. Overall, there's nothing particularly wrong with that method. I just wanted to try something different. And since this is the one that's working and it's not causing me any problems, I'm fine with it. I've also noticed that my frame rate has been very, very good ever since I switched to a different version of Unity. I don't know how accurate this is, but 600 FPS per scene is pretty good, I guess. Although I did have a bit of a scare recently. I almost lost the entire project. Thank God I have backups. I have backups of also other backups. I have backups everywhere. I have an entire catalog of backups. At the moment, I believe I'm at backup 69. Probably. No, scratch that. 43. No, that is still inaccurate. I'm at 44. 45. I'm at 40 something. I have a lot of backups. So yeah, moral of that story is keep backups. Anyway, I'm about 6 months in development, I think. I think I've gotten pretty far on it. I am building everything from scratch, minus of course the engine, duh. So it's definitely taken a while. On top of the fact that I'm still learning how to code anyway. But I think I've made some pretty decent progress here, and I'm pretty happy with how everything's turned out so far. All the ups and downs has been really fun. And of course I have quite a bit to go, so I have a whole lot more fun to go through. But anyway, that has been this update video. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, share, and just hope, you know, if you think it's worth it, let people know that this project exists. God forbid, make me happy. Alright, have a good day.